Okay, so shout out to Mosera for telling me the audio was a little messed up. I wasn't aware of that. I usually just turn it down, but I recorded the previous attempt late at night, so maybe I just forgot. So today I'm going to spectate this Daredevil player right here because he did really well, and I think it's a good video to showcase his strengths. And I want to go over real quick about what Daredevil can do and how I would change him real quick. And then I want to talk about the impact he has had on the player base as a whole. So, starting off, we have Daredevil can give overshield to himself, and wall run has very high damage. He can speed boost and damage reduction himself, see through walls, see invis people, deflect almost everything, latch onto anything and anyone, blind people, and slow people. Now the slow, I didn't actually know he had. You know, I thought that was not the case, but until I 1v1'd him as Angela. And I realized he hit me with, I don't know, one of these moves right here, like double star or something, and it slowed me. And I was like, oh, okay, that's new. I didn't know that. That is, they gave him everything, you know? They literally gave this character everything. I don't know what he doesn't have. Now, I agree with the philosophy of releasing characters that are OP and then nerfing them later, because it's a lot easier to nerf than it is to buff. But you have to nerf them sooner than later. You know, you can't just kind of let them go. You have to be snappy on it. You know, have to be quick and not just let things kind of devolve. So, that's not even mentioning everything, by the way. There's more things that this guy can do. That's just off the top of my head. But I want to just give a quick rundown of how you can make this character a bit more healthy while still keeping his identity. Because keeping his identity is important to me. Although this guy's identity is like everything. So we should probably just completely scrap the idea of giving him overshield. Because he already is like 325 HP. Right, yeah. So base health, 325. That is extremely high for a DPS. Usually that they're around 275 to 250. And now we're giving him overshield, which makes his survivability a little too cracked. You know, it's a little too much. He kind of just survives everything, unless you have a bunch of people shooting him. And then we have the wall run. Now, I'm not really sure why this dude can wall run. I don't really understand the lore reason. I know he combined himself with like a mystical being, creature. However, it doesn't really make sense. And it allows him, here's the problem, it allows him to get to these extremely creative and high places to dive. And it ends up being another BP situation where you never know where he is. And as a healer, it's extremely miserable to play against because you have to be, like, you have like so many things to worry about now, like as a healer. You know, if you have a BP and a Daredevil on your team, it's in the jungle, dude. You're in the literal jungle. You're like waiting for a monkey to attack you while there's a lion stalking you and you got like a magic coming up behind you. You know? It's literally the jungle. So maybe we just make him latch onto walls instead. So like he jumps off like a high surface and then can grab a wall. The wall run, it's just overtuned. It's just like, why? What are we doing here? What's the point of Daredevil being able to wall run? What's the point? I don't see the point. He's already extremely mobile with his latch and his little like dash that he has, a little dash attack. So next we have very high damage. Now I don't want to touch his damage, okay? Because that would hurt his identity. And like I said, I don't want to hurt that. So we can honestly leave his damage. I know his combos are very strong and very long, and they're just continuous, you know. He has incredible damage output, and for over a long time that just it never ends if you really know what you're doing. And it's very painful. However, I think we should leave it because I think there is a way to play around it and a way to deal with it. Now, next we have see invisible people, which is really good timing because that's what he just did. He saw Invis woman while she was Invis. I have an idea of how to tweak this. I don't think we should get rid of it because I understand he's blind, he can see through walls, and that's how it translates to a video game and see Invis people. However, it completely negates all the people who can go invisible. It completely hard counters them, and it's a passive. That's a problem. The reason it's a problem is it's a passive. It's not an ability. He does it without doing anything. So, what we should do instead is make it on a shorter distance. Make him be able to see through walls. We don't have to touch that. But we should make the distance that he can see people invisible shorter. I don't know how shorter, because if he's gonna be if you don't have to invis, because she's the main offender, right? Or the main victim. Where she's gonna be pretty close to him because he's a melee character. So I don't know if we should shorten it a lot or about half, right? Because right now I'm pretty sure it's just the same distance as his sight is, you know, that he can see people through walls and stuff. So it's a bit hard to balance, but I think it needs changing. Because let's say, for example, Psylocke. She heavily relies on that invisibility to escape and to hide behind walls. And as much as I love Psylocke, they have destroyed that character. They have truly destroyed her identity. And it really pains my heart to say. However, it's just true. She is almost a throw pick at this point, if not straight up a throw pick. And now that Daredevil has been introduced, there's no real point in playing her because your playstyle is going to change drastically to the point of not really having a lot of impact. And now it's somewhat the same for Invis, but it's different because it's more about escapes. Because you can't escape from him. If he's diving you and you don't get peeled, which is, you know, even in high ranks, it's common, you're gonna die. Because if you jump away, he can see you Invis. If you push him away, he can latch to you and bring himself right to you. And if you can't out damage him because his damage is so high and his combos are so long. So it completely destroys the point of the character to the point where you're throwing if you pick them. And there's already like only 3 people that can go invis. You know, there's not many. So it needs a little tweaking. Moving on to the deflect. The deflect needs to be changed to a block, okay? He shouldn't deflect anything. I'm not really going to go on and on about this one. He needs to just only block damage and not deflect it to where it goes back at them. It's just too strong for a character like him currently. The block will be healthy. It's fine. I'd say remove the slow on people he can afflict. I don't think he should apply a slow. And the blind people can stay. And latching onto anything that anyone can stay too, because that's just a base ability, and you know, it's if we touch that, it'll hurt his identity. But if we remove the slow on people, okay, that won't hurt him. Okay, that's just it's just too much. It's what's making him overtuned. Okay, that's about it. So now we can talk about the effect that Daredevil has had on the community. There has been pretty much insta-lock DPS every game, and it's about 3 or 4 people. This is rough because it was kind of bad before. It was kind of not an inside joke. I mean, yeah, inside joke where, insta-lock DPS, ha ha ha. But now it's making it extremely miserable for the other roles of healer and tank to do anything. Oh, come on me, not him. It's not fun to tank or heal because everybody wants to play DPS now. And no one can really blame them because they're getting all the new toys. They're getting all the new things. Problem with that is that if no one's playing tank or heal, then you're just gonna lose and no one's gonna have fun. Not even DPS. They get to play DPS, yeah, but they're gonna lose every game because no one wants to play the other roles. And this is the outcome they have when you add a DPS character like this and this many DPS characters in a row. Like, I wish I could sit down and talk to the devs and be like, hey, I said this was gonna happen. I predicted everything they do, and I was right. Like, it just annoys me, because it's like, I just want to talk to them, be like, you need to listen to me, alright? Because everything I say right here is true. Nothing I have predicted has been wrong. And it just blows my mind that they think this is an okay decision, that they see no problem with this, that they planned this a year in advance and went, yeah, this will work out. No, it won't work out. It won't, it's not working out. It's just straight up not. The community is miserable. It has become extremely toxic. The player count has only dropped. People are becoming less and less enthusiastic, and they see it as a drag and a bore to even interact with. Not everyone. A lot of people still enjoy the game. I'm not a doomer, okay? It's still a fun game at heart. But they're just adding the wrong things again and again and again. And it's only hurting. Healers have literally not gotten anything in like 9 months. And we can all agree that Ultron does not count because Ultron's not a healer, straight up, period. They literally just nerfed his healing. Like, he's literally not. So, it's 9 months they haven't gotten anything. Let that sink in. 9 months of playing the game to get nothing. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I don't play healer anymore. I'm only going to play healer when the new healer comes out. And then I'll play it a bunch. I'll play that character a bunch. However, no. Not anymore. Not right now. Because there's been nothing. Just a dry desert of content for 9 whole months. And then tank too. I mean, tank is miserable to play because you're either solo tanking or it's just the same 2 tanks. I swear to God, I will see so many people go 3 DPS and then they'll be like, oh man, we only have this many tanks or this many heals. And instead of going tank, they'll just go 3 heal. They'll see 1 tank and be like, nah, it's fine, I'll go heal. Like, what? And it causes a whole different problem. So, they are only not seriously looking at the problem. They mentioned it, be like, oh yeah, we're aware of the problem of there's super low heals and tanks, but they don't. It's just words. It's just words. Okay, it's words. Their actions only prove that they don't care. And now that they add Daredevil, it's becoming extremely miserable to play. So, yeah, I mean, it's just becoming worse and worse. And now everybody instalots DPS every game, and it's hard enough to play tank and heal as it is. I don't want this video to be too long. It's been about 15 minutes, so we're going to end it here. That's pretty much the impact that Daredevil has had on the game. It's been horrible. It's been a horrible, horrible impact. And, yeah. I can only assume the more things I predict, the more things I'll be right about. And I'll leave it off with, if they make Gambit come first instead of Rogue in Season 5... Sheesh, man. Yo. It's going to be a funny time for the player base here. And the devs might be in for a little bit of a reality check of who's staying and who's going if they add another DPS right now. Because tank players are already on the fence. Heals are already gone. The only people playing heal now is like 2 people left who actually like healing, and others are just like tank mains that are filling. So, yo, good luck.